Content warning, the following video contains heavy spoilers for both Chainsaw Man and My Hero Academia. Oh, and lots of references to violence, gore, death, and sexual themes, both consensual and non-consensual. Viewer discretion is advised. I've always wanted to say that. What should my next video be? Should it be something D&D related? Maybe later. I think I might have tunnel vision. I got the surprise mechanic wrong in my big video and the follow-up video explaining what I got wrong. I'll come back to that with a clear head. Should I talk about a book or... Whoa. Well, that's hazardous. I could talk about Blender, but I don't really use Blender. I wonder if... Huh? What's that? Pretending to read... What the... Who in their right mind would think... Ah, crap! I seem to have taken the bait regarding anime server. Again! And for the record, that's clearly what it is. It's a meme that was made in the wake of Chainsaw Man becoming popular in the mainstream. I don't think that many people actually think Denji from Chainsaw Man and Mineta from My Hero Academia are a one-to-one comparison, but that's not going to stop me from using it as an excuse to gush about a series that I really enjoy, and another series that I really wish I enjoyed. There are many like it, but this one is mine. Truth be told, there are some incidental similarities one could glean from these two characters, like how they're both 16 years old, somehow, and both have stated motivations related to touching ladies and being seen as cool. If you squint, I guess I could see how you think they're the same character, but once you actually open your eyes, you can easily see how this is not a fair comparison by any metric. Denji is the main character of his story. He's had an entire series dedicated to him becoming more of a fleshed out and nuanced character. Mineta is a throwaway joke character that should have stayed in the garbage. It's like comparing the complexity of a real-world chainsaw to an actual grape that actively disregards the boundaries and consent of the people around him.
Open wide, kids, because I'm gonna grape you in the mouth!
Allow me to explain. Oh, wait, hang on. There we go. I'm still being reeled in, but I thought this would look... You're smart, you get it. Last warning, I'm going to talk about some of the biggest twists and story elements in Chainsaw Man. Take this as my recommendation. Look it up and see if the premise interests you. I initially saw the ads for the anime on Crunchyroll. I got curious, so I found a website that had posted the entire manga from beginning to end. Unintentionally, I stayed up till 2 in the morning reading the entire series. The first thing I did when I rolled out of bed the next day, I bought the digital copies online. Within 72 hours, I had written the backstory for no less than 9 original characters. They fight the Cancer Devil. This is how my mind works. I have no higher honor to bestow on this series. Give Tatsuki Fujimoto your money! Anyway, to put it mildly, Chainsaw Man is a bummer. This is a series where the President of the United States shortens the lifespans of every American citizen by 1 year, as part of a pact to summon the Gun Devil, an enormous Cthulhuid manifestation of American gun violence. He summons the Gun Devil to kill one person. The Gun Devil attacks, tearing cities apart and massacres thousands of people, a majority of them being children. But it doesn't work. That is the level of pessimism we are dealing with here. So it's no surprise that this is reflected in our main character Denji, who starts off his story living in squalor, hopelessly in debt to the Japanese mafia, and fantasizing one day about eating bread with jam on it. He literally starts off his new life in a dumpster. This series is a lot of things, it is not subtle. He also wishes to be with a girl at least once before he dies. Denji does have a rather immature and naive perspective when it comes to women. He literally falls in love with the first woman that treats him with any kind of kindness. But later on in the series, he actively grows and changes his perspective. His crude desires are a reflection of his perception of self-worth. He even gets a chance to get what he wants. He gets to consensually cop a feel, only to be immensely disappointed once he does. He learns later that what he actually wants is a connection to someone. He wants to matter to someone. He wants his dreams to be as valid as anyone else's. The story of Chainsaw Man is about a young man trying to find meaning and happiness in a world that is clearly in short supply. Insert relatable meme here. Wait, that part is in parentheses. I shouldn't have read that out loud. Meanwhile, Minoru Mineta is one of a dozen background characters in My Hero Academia that could be removed from the story without anyone noticing. Unless, of course, you were taking a shot every time a character actively catcalled or opportunistically molested a female classmate of his. Without Mineta, you would not be getting a buzz otherwise. This little grapist in the making does nothing in this story but be an unrelenting HR nightmare that needs to be restrained multiple times to stop him from committing crimes. He might incidentally help in a fight once in a while, but his contributions could be easily replaced with another student. Like, I don't know. What about Tape Guy? You know, Zero? He makes sticky tape, and he can move around like Spider-Man. Zero is Mineta if he wasn't a fruit-flavored incel. Seriously, I read through all of Mineta's dialogue and character moments in every issue he makes an appearance in this nearly 400 chapter long manga. If you took out all the moments he's either qualifying for restraining orders or screeching about girls having the audacity to wear shorts under their skirts, he does nothing. 95% of his wiki page just talks about him being a pervert. His only appearances in the last 100 chapters is him just being in group conversations where he maybe will say a generic line of expository dialogue that could have been said by anyone else. Mineta as a character has the depth of a damp paper towel. And it's damp with say. Okay, that's a little unfair. There is actually count it, one moment where he actually shows a little development. Which is super frustrating because all it does is show that Horikoshi actually knows how to make a character like Mineta work. But then just doesn't? For those of you who haven't read or watched My Hero Academia, let me explain. During the field training arc, the students of Class 1A are taking assignments from real-world heroes. One of the side characters, Tenya Ida, has suspiciously taken a mentorship that seems to be well below his skill level. We later find out that he takes his mentorship in Hosu City because the hero killer Stain was last sighted there. Stain attacked and crippled Tenya's older brother, so Ida is out for revenge. Other stuff happens in the arc, but the long and short of it is, Ida eventually finds and tries to fight Stain. Deku, the main character of the series, figures out his plan and tries to stop him from getting into a fight that could get him killed. He frantically searches the back alleys of Hosu City, being the prime locations for Stain to attack heroes. He eventually does find Stain and Tenya fighting. Deku tries fighting off Stain, but finds that he's also outmatched by the former hero turned killer. Thankfully, he does have one advantage over Stain, the fact that Stain doesn't want to kill him. You see, Stain was a former hero who turned to the life of crime because he saw the hero world becoming too superficial. Heroes only being heroes because they wanted fame and glory, as opposed to actually wanting to help people. Stain sees Deku as the ideal hero. He's fighting to save his friend Ida at potentially great cost to himself. Ida, however, is still at risk of being killed. He tracked down Stain in order to get revenge for his brother. Not because he knew it was the right thing to do. Before Stain can finish either of them off, however, backup arrives. Can you guess who? You see, Deku, in a mad rush to find Ida, didn't have time to properly reach out to anybody for help. Instead, he had the smart idea of sharing his phone's location with his entire contact list, hoping that anybody nearby would glean that he needed help from context clues. This plan works, as Mineta strolls into the scene. It's played up as a joke, obviously. Mineta takes one look at the bloody, noseless monster that is Stain and immediately bursts into tears and starts running away. This, however, turns out to be the exact thing they need to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. In the arc prior to this one, all of Class 1A participated in the UA Sports Festival, basically a super-powered Olympic event run by the school. Since this event was televised, all of the students in Class 1A got interviewed. During Mineta's interview, he admits that all he really cares about is becoming popular with the ladies and being seen as cool. You know who saw that interview? Stain! Stain then shifts focus to murdering the shit out of Mineta, because he's the exact kind of hero that he aims to scrub from this world. It's a clever setup to be sure. And the fight is really good too. Becomes a bit of a Looney Tunes kind of chase with Mineta scaling up walls and running for his life from a blade-wielding maniac. This allows Deku and Ida to double team and get the final blow on Stain. After the fight, there's this small moment of realization for Mineta, where he questions if being a hero is worth being at the receiving end of villains like Stain. But then, Ida and Deku thank him for essentially saving him, saying it takes guts to come to the rescue, no questions asked. Mineta has a subtle internal monologue about how there's more to being a hero than being cool. So, there you go. After the field training arc, Mineta doesn't do anything of note besides be more of a creep. Which is just disappointing, you know? I just wish there were more moments like this in the series. Especially considering the fact that I made it the fuck up. That's right, I lied! You should have seen it coming, considering the fact that I'm a brain. You know, the only organ capable of lying. Well, I didn't lie completely. The field training arc did happen, but Mineta wasn't there at all. He was off learning to hate women more than he already did somehow. Instead of a character whose primary motivations would have been a good foil and contrast to the arc's villains and theme, instead it was Shoto, who has fire and ice powers. Which is fun, you know. The fight scene is really well animated, which they kind of have to be. My Hero Academia does not have good enough writing to stand on its own without the pretty visuals. I admit, my hot take is gonna burn by the time I get back. Oh well. Now, I don't want to slam My Hero Academia for not being a masterpiece. If you like a series because they have cool fight scenes, that's totally valid. But god man, this series has like 4 tournament arcs. You have to admit that is exhausting. But getting back on topic, Mineta is in dog-ish tier when it comes to characters. He's not plot relevant like Kakashi. He's not a helpful teacher like Master Roshi. He's not even a decent antagonistic force like Hisoka. Love or hate these characters, they're relevant to their respective stories. Mineta is a turd in the front seat of a used car. The car is average, it's fine, it'll get you where you need to go, but there's a turd on the dashboard? And passengers would rightly ask, hey, why is there a turd in here? It stinks like this and it's not necessary for the car to function, so why not get rid of it? Clearly people don't like it. And then the owner of the car, Horikoshi, says he sees a little bit of himself in the turd, which is not something I would admit to, even at gunpoint, especially considering the fact that, canonically, I am bulletproof. So yeah, in summary, check out Chainsaw Man, and also Mineta sucks. You know I'm right, not even the Mineta subreddit can keep the joke going. In all honesty, I don't really recommend My Hero Academia. Even if you ignore the Mineta stuff, I think it's just ultimately disappointing from a narrative sense. I won't argue that there aren't some genuinely cool and exciting moments, but at the end of the day, I don't really think this is a satisfying series. Man, I've been hooked for a long time.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Wait a minute. I can float. Well, I'm glad I avoided getting hurt this time. Hey everybody, don't mind me, I'm just gonna do some call to action stuff. First of all, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, consider hitting like and subscribe. If you want to be updated on the progress I'm making on videos, check out my socials. Links in the box down below. And if you're feeling really generous, go see If You're Somebody's Bone Marrow match for free at bethematch.org. I am not sponsored by them, I just think they do good work and they deserve your attention. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.